to make a choice, I'm pretty sure of what to do. I just trust my instincts. And more often than not, they have proved to be the best guide I could possibly want. Fortunately, I trusted my instincts more often than not while I'd been here, and like everyone else, I felt my year was going pretty much to plan.
Okay, this week marks our halfway point, everyone. And the good news is you're all on track for qualifying for the final surf-off.
So, let's see the points tally, shall we? Now, Charlie, we've averaged your points for when you're away 6, so you are sitting on 29.5 along with Guy.
Yeah!
Lauren and Cassie, you're a sniff ahead on 30 points.
Yes!
But Bridget's fantastic school assignments and Adam's dishwashing skills have given them a secret edge, so they both lead with 31 points.
Hey, since when have Adam's dishwashing skills been better than mine?
Since just about always.
Well, I should point out that Adam's surfing contributed somewhat to his top place.
Congratulations to all of you. It's been an excellent first half year. And if you keep going the way you have been going, you'll all qualify for the finals easily.
Yeah. Well, hey, this calls for a celebration dinner. What do you say, Beth?
Actually, we already have a dinner guest tonight. Who's that? Angus Lee.
Isn't he the guy from the company that owns Solar Blue?
That's the man.
Nice coming to dinner.
Guess we'll find out tonight.
Anyway, thank you for that fine meal. And I've got to say, it's a pleasure to see how far you've all progressed.
So, Angus, what's the real reason you're here? Is it true you're going to sack Beck and Gary?
As you can see, Angus, they have total confidence in us.
No, sorry to disappoint you, Guy. I'm actually here to talk about Solid Blue starting to earn its keep.
How do you mean?
I tell you what, I've got something out in the car, so why don't you all gather in the living room and I'll go and get it. As you know, Matsushita has invested a lot of money in Solid Blue. We see the surfing market as a big commercial opportunity.
No, I'm always available for hire, Angus. 10 grand a day and I'm anyone's.
Now, look, unfortunately, you won't be getting any money for this. What you will be doing is helping ensure that Solid Blue has a future.
Angus, the suspense is killing me.
Ah, yes.
Oh, sweet.
There you have it.
That is awesome.
These are the prototypes of a new board we're going to manufacture. We plan to have about 10,000 of these on the market for summer.
10,000.
That's huge. But we don't do things by halves.
Angus, I don't get it. What's this got to do with us?
Well, these are Solid Blue boards, so we want them to be promoted by our Solid Blue surfers.
How do we do that?
Well, you use them in competitions. Having you guys win on these boards gives them credibility. It'll be the best publicity we could ever ask for.
Wow, it's really light.
That's right. We're aiming them at kids under 13, so obviously we want them to be able to carry it easily.
Angus, I wonder if Gary and I could have a chat with you in the office.
Yes, of course. Have a good look at these guys. I've got one for each of you. You can start practicing on them tomorrow.
Charlie, check this out.
There was nothing especially bad about this board, and it did look good. But for some reason, every instinct I had was telling me it spelled trouble.
Angus, why weren't Gary and I informed of this?
What are you talking about?
We are supposed to be in charge around here, aren't we?
Yes, but...
Then if you want us to work with new boards, you should tell us beforehand, not just spring it on us in front of everyone.
I don't get it. I mean, you're getting a whole bunch of new boards here. I mean, what's the problem?
The problem, mate, is that all surfboards are different. It can take weeks to get used to a new board. You can't just grab any old one and get out there and start competing.
Well, I'm sorry, but in this case, you're going to have to.
Excuse me?
We need our publicity campaign to be underway immediately. Now, you mentioned there was a surfing competition this weekend, right?
You can't seriously be suggesting...
Look, I'm not suggesting, Gary. I'm telling you. Now, we've booked a photographer and the chief executive is coming to see the event.
No, you'll have to
personally.
cancel them.
Well, that's impossible.
It's not that simple, Angus.
Yeah, well, you better make it simple, Gary. Now, your futures and the future of Solar Blue depend on making a commercial contribution to this company. Now, we left you alone for the first half of the year. Now it's time for you to pay your dues.
All right, guys, look, let's just use this morning as a familiarisation session, OK? Get a feel for the board, see how responsive they are.
Rails are a bit thick, aren't they?
Yeah, they don't feel like the most manoeuvrable boards.
I know, but let's not prejudge things, all right, guys? Let's start simple, then work in some complex moves as you get used to them.
Gary, we need to hold off on the surfing for a while.
Why, what's up?
Before we start, I just want to take a few shots with the team posing with the boards. This is Joe, one of the best commercial photographers in the business.
Hello.
Joe?
You don't mind, do you, mate? It'll only take about half an hour or so.
See yourself, Angus. You're the boss.
Right, OK. They're all yours, Joe.
Okay, Angus, thanks.
OK, here we go, girls. Joe. Hold the boards under your arm. Get the gents in here. Something like that, out in front of the...
They're lovely.
Yeah, nice.
They're lovely, yeah.
That's a very big window. Oh, that's impressive. I like it. Oh, nice. All the girls in? Let's have boy, girl, boy, girl. Something different? You get a smile there. Come on, Adam. Okay, let's try something a little bit different. Yeah, that's it. Okay, Adam, let's get your board over a little bit.
Straight over here, thanks.
And one more and I'll pop in there. Terrific stuff. They're all yours, mate. You good? Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, wax up, get out there, and see what you can do. Now, remember, Take your time, get a feel for them, all right?
Angus, I think we need to hold off on the surfing shots for a while. The kids need time to get themselves up to speed.
Well, don't be so pessimistic, Beth. I mean, they'll take to these boards like ducks to water.
Getting used to a new board isn't always easy. It's hard to explain, but it's a bit like trying on a new pair of shoes. If they're too loose or too tight, it's hard to walk properly. And if you choose the wrong pair, you can easily end up falling flat on your face.
Right out the back, right. Get. Beck, maybe you were right. They need a little bit more time to get up to speed.
It's like trying to surf on a feather.
As soon as you stand up, they practically disappear from under you. Yeah, it's so hard to get any momentum up.
Look, granted, these boards are different, but they've been designed, tested in the lab for months. We know they work.
Well, they're not working for us.
This isn't exactly a lab, is it?
Hey, you've had one session on them, right? Now spend the whole day on them and then see how you feel.
What if they're still not working for us?
Don't even think that, Cassie. That's not an option. Now, you guys are elite surfers, right? Now, it's your job to go out there and make them work.
After Angus laid it on the line like that, we realised we had no choice. So we spent the rest of the day working our butts off trying to make our new shoes fit. By late afternoon, we'd all begun to walk the walk. But what's the point of walking when you know you should be dancing?
I'm very disappointed in both of you. You should be supporting me in this, showing some enthusiasm.
It's my job to run the academy. It's his job to coach the kids. Neither of us signed contracts to promote products.
No one is asking you to sell your souls. Just be a bit helpful and positive. I mean, is that too much to ask?
It is if it requires us to put unreasonable pressure on the kids.
Okay, look. I'm going to be honest with you.
That would be appreciated.
There are a number of senior people in the company that think we should close Solar Blue down.
Since when?
Well, they think we should focus our sponsorship dollars on the bigger sports. Football, tennis, stuff like that.
But surfing's huge all around the world.
But not huge enough, apparently. So if we could use Solar Blue to directly promote a money-making activity, well, it'll silence our critics. And it'll ensure the Academy's future for years to come.
Well, what happens if we don't manage to pull this off?
Well, then I'm sorry, Beck, but I can't ensure that any of us will have a future here.
That night after dinner, Beck and Gary sat us down and explained the situation. It was pretty clear that if we wanted Solar Blue to survive, then we'd have to use the boards in the comp tomorrow, whether we like them or not. As you can guess, none of us like them at all.
The fact is, the boards are crap.
Yeah, and that's putting it nicely.
We all know that, but we have to make the most of them.
Beck, the boards are just too light. There is no way that we can compete at our best on them.
Well, look, you don't have to be at your best. Just a good, competent performance is all that's needed.
What if we fail, though? Has anyone thought of that?
Yeah, if we don't win this comp tomorrow, does that mean we're all on a bus home?
Look, I'm not going to lie to you. From what Angus has said, it's a real possibility.
What? You can't be serious.
He is. But hey, you know what? We can do this. We get out there, we use those boards, and we do well.
Okay, well, I guess we'll give it our best shot then.
That's all we can ask.
Hey, oh cool, you got those photos. Look at this hot couple. Definitely A-list celebs.
Have you thought about that? That they're going to be using our photos to promote these boards?
Yeah, it's going to be weird seeing our faces in the pages of some magazine.
No, I mean, we're going to be telling kids to buy these boards even though we know that they're not that great.
Not exactly telling them.
Oh, well, as good as.
So what, you're saying that we shouldn't let them use our photos for the ad campaign?
I'm just saying that I feel really uncomfortable promoting stuff that we know is dodgy.
Listen, I agree with you on the boards. They're not great. But who knows, they might get a whole bunch of kids who wouldn't otherwise surf to take it up. And then once they get into it, they can move on and get themselves a really good board.
So you think it's all right for us to persuade kids to buy them?
Well, you heard Gary. It's not like we really have a choice. There's no point beating yourself up over something that you can't do anything about. Anyways, good night. Hey, it's not like we're persuading kids to take drugs or become axe murderers. It's just a surfboard.
Just a surfboard. Maybe Adam's right. Maybe I'm blowing this out of proportion. But if he is right, why is every instinct in my body telling me that this whole thing is no good? Stop thinking, Cassie. Just go out tomorrow and surf yourself silly. That's all you have to do.
Oh, the view of see deep blue Adriatic Sea.
All right, guys, look. Let's not go crazy out there. Just some good, solid surfing will do us.
Yeah, we'll be trying.
Okay, girls are up first. Are you ready? Ready as we'll ever be.
Good luck.
I'm not broken, just a little energy spent. It's a long way from you. I'm not broken, just a little energy spent. And it's a long way from you. With a towel on my hips and the salt upon my lips, I'm starting to look like a homeless with a beard on my chin. I'm not broken, just a little energy spent. It's a long way from here. I'm not broken, just a little energy spent. And it's a long way from here. From here, can I see?
Tell me I'm not seeing what I'm seeing.
Oh, I wish I could. They'll be lucky to get 10 points between the three of them.
Some good rides by the Long Beach girls see them rack up a total of 18 points. Not so lucky, the Solid Blue girls have only managed 11 points.
That was pathetic.
Never mind, all right? We've still got this afternoon's heat, okay? It's not over yet.
Yeah, well, it might as well be. Okay, boys, you're up. Just do what you can.
Can I see? I can speak.
Isn't there anything we can do to help?
I'm a coach, Beck, not a miracle worker.
Can I see? I can speak.
Look, I can't watch this. I'll meet you guys back at the house for lunch.
Another good performance from Long Beach. They've chalked up a team total of 19 points. That's a 7-point lead over the Solid Blue boys, who come in with 12.
If you move your weight to the front, the whole board just nosedives.
And if you move your weight to the back, then the board just flips out from under you.
So just try to minimise the weight shift, okay? Stick to the centre of the board.
Back.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce Mr. Yamato, the CEO of Matsushita.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Yamato. I'm Beck Sanderson.
I'm Gary Miller.
Pleased to meet you both. And you must be our star surfers, Agnes has told me about. Please, don't let me interrupt. Go ahead and finish your lunch.
Mr. Yamato saw some of your heats this morning from up on the headland. Unfortunately, Mr. Yamato had to take some calls and was unable to see how brilliant you all were.
That's a shame.
But I've switched my phone off and now coming down to watch from the beach to see everything firsthand.
Good.
Beck, perhaps you could escort Mr. Yamato down to his seat.
Certainly, if you'd like to come with me.
Thank you.
You all need to step up out there this afternoon. Everything hangs on what you do out there. It's your futures, remember.
Just do your best, guys. It's all anyone can ask of you.
Okay, we may as well get this over with.
Angus was right. Our futures did hang on what we did this afternoon. And my instincts, which I'd nailed up and put a lid on for the last 2 days, told me that in spite of what everyone had said, we did have a choice. And now it was time to make it.
What are you doing, Cass?
Getting my board. What for? You can't use it. Yes, I can.
What are you talking about? You know we have to use those Solid Blue boards. That's the whole point of this.
Not me. You guys can use them, but I'm surfing on my own board. Well, Cassie, you know the deal. We have to perform on the Solid Blue boards, or there will be no Solid Blue. We'll be finished. But we're finished already. And if I'm going to go out, then I'm going to go out being myself. And if saying it's Solid Blue means I have to persuade kids to buy some useless piece of crap, then I don't think I want to stay here anyway. I'll see you guys down there.
As you can see, they're lightweight, so the kids can carry them easily. And the designs have been market tested to appeal to the target age group.
And do they work?
Oh, absolutely, as you'll soon see when our surfers use them in competition. Cassie, which one of these boards are you going to use?
I'm sorry, Angus. I'm not.
I beg your pardon?
There is no way that I can compete using those boards. I figured at least I could show Mr. Yamato that I can surf.
Beck, Gary, what's going on here?
I think you've got a slight rebellion on your hands, Angus.
One surfer doesn't make a rebellion.
No, but 6 do.
Go with Cassie. We figured if we're going to go down, then we might as well go down and starve.
No, wait.
What's going on here?
What's going on, Angus, is that we can't use these new boards. They are ridiculous. And if that means that Solid Blue has to end, then that's awful. But at least we won't be sellouts.
But now what do we do?
I don't know about you, but we're going surfing.
Go, girls! Come on.
Beck, I know nothing about this sport. Why don't you sit here and explain things to me?
Certainly.
Go, girls! Woo! Go, Bridget!
Oh, go Cass.
Yeah, Warren!
What do you say now, Coach?
All I can say is that it's good to see some decent surf.
Yeah, couldn't put it better myself.
It's obvious the Solid Blue girls had an extremely good lunch. They combined for a tally of 28 points to Long Beach's 17.5. That gives the girls comp for Solid Blue 39 points and 35.5.
Way to go, girl!
That was awesome.
Whatever they're feeding them at Solid Blue, it sure must be good. The Solid Blue boys pulled in an amazing 29 points on that set, while Long Beach collected 20. That gives the boys comp for Solid Blue with a total of 41 to Long Beach 39.
While it was great to win the comp and get back to surfing properly, we also knew that we'd signed our own death warrants. Now we just had to hear the judge pass sentence.
So, I gather that you don't much care for our new surfboards.
No. So I'm sorry.
Angus, how much money have you spent on developing and testing these boards?
About $1 million, Mr. Yamato.
$1 million. That's a lot of money. Wouldn't you agree? But if they're no good, then they're no good. It is better that we face that fact now, rather than try to hide it. You did the right thing today in telling us that.
It hasn't exactly done us much good though, has it?
How's that?
Well, promoting those boards was supposed to be our way of making money. Now we can't do that.
Doesn't that mean you'll have to close us down?
I'll think about this. In a few days, Angus will come back to you with our decision. We should go, Angus.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed your surfing today, and I was pleased that you won. Congratulations.
What does all that mean?
Yeah, are we still alive here or what?
Your guess is as good as mine.
So what do we do now?
We keep going with our normal routine. Until we hear otherwise, it's business as usual.
It might have been business as usual on the outside, but inside our stomachs were churning. For the next 3 days, none of us could concentrate on anything while we waited to hear what would happen to Solid Blue. And more importantly, what would happen to us.
Okay, guys, gather round. Take a seat.
What's all this?
Don't tell me Solid Blue are producing bodyboards now.
On the contrary, these are your lifelines
Lifelines to what?
to staying here at Solid Blue.
Stop speaking in riddles, Angus. You're making me nervous.
Yeah, what's the decision?
The decision is Mr. Yamato would like you to keep surfing and to keep winning.
Well, what's the catch?
Yeah, there's got to be something.
Well, Mr. Yamato was very taken by the photographs we shot with the surfboard.
Oh, Angus, we are not promoting those boards.
It's all right, Cassie. You don't have to worry about that.
So, what's the deal?
The deal is Matsushita distributes a large range of leisure wear, and Mr. Yamato thinks that using real surfers to do the fashion shoots will make for a great ad campaign. And that way, it helps him justify the expense of running Solid Blue. And it won't interfere with your surfing or the running of the academy.
And that's it.
That's it.
Now begins Guy's career as a professional male model.
It's a sad day when it comes to this, but a free man is a happier man. Whoa, man, reminisce, you are the highlight of the party.
Instincts are funny things. If you listen to them, they can help you make a choice, even when you think you have no choice. But if you don't, then the chances are you'll never work out which is really the right top to wear. Which maybe goes to prove that every girl should have her own personal stylist. Come to think of it, it's not such a bad idea, really.